Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Salty. Are we doing okay? All right, would you stand with us if you're able? My name is Miles. If we have not met, the team and I are excited to worship with you this morning. We're going to start off things just with a time of worship. We'll be in it for about 15 minutes. And the goal is to just shift our perspective upward, just to be reminded of truth, be reminded of who Jesus is, all that he's done, and the reason that we have joy. All right, let's sing together. Can we sing together? We worship the God who was. We worship the God who was. We worship the God who is. We worship the God who evermore will be. Come on. He opened the prison doors. He parted the raging sea. And my God, he holds the victory. That's why we say, there's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. We won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place. We won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. Yes, we will. We shout out your praise. Come on, we sing to the God who heals. Lift it up. We sing to the God who heals. We sing to the God who saves. We sing to the God who always makes a way. 'Cause he hung upon that cross and he rose up from that grave. Our God's still rolling stones away. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place. We won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. Come on, we've been redeemed. We have reason to celebrate this morning because of Jesus and what he's done. Let's sing about that. We were the beggars, but now we're royalty. And we were the prisoners. Come on. Now we're running free. Oh, we are forgiven, accepted, redeemed by his grace. So let the house of the Lord sing praise. Lift it up. Oh, we were the beggars. Come on. Now we're royalty. We were the prisoners. Yes, we were. Thank you, Jesus. We sing this. Christ is my firm foundation. He's the rock on which I stand. Everything around me is shaking. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus. 'Cause he's never let me down. He's faithful through generations. So why would he fail? You see, he won't. He won't. I've still got joy. I've still got joy in chaos. I've got peace that makes no sense. So I won't be going under. I'm not held by my own strength, 'cause I built my life on Jesus. And he's never let me down. He's faithful in every season. So why would he fail now? He won't. We believe this morning he won't. And he won't fail. He won't fail. You say he won't. No, he won't fail. He won't fail. He won't fail. Christ is my firm foundation. Yes, he is. He's the rock on which I when everything. Oh, I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus. Oh, my faith, 'cause he's never let me down. He's faithful through generations. So why would he fail now? He won't. Thank you, Lord, that you won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. Put our faith and our hope and our trust in you, Jesus. Not in anything of this world, but only in your name. 'Cause you are faithful in every circumstance, in every trial. That's why we sing that rain came, wind blew, but my house was built on you. And I'm safe with you, and I'm gonna make it through. We need this reminder this morning. Rain came, wind it blew, but my house was built on you. I'm safe. I'm safe with you, and I'm gonna make it. Rain came, wind, oh, it blew, but my house was built on you. And I'm Let's sing that in faith. No, he won't fail. He won't fail. He won't fail. No, he won't. Thank you, Jesus.
There was a moment when the lights went out, when death had claimed its victory. The King of Love had given up his life, the darkest day in history. But there on a cross they made for sin, for every curse his blood atoned. One final breath and it was finished, but not the end we could have known. For the earth began to shake, and the veil was torn. What sacrifice was made as the heavens roll? That's why we sing all hail. All hail.
Hey everyone, welcome to Salty. Love that you're here with us this morning. Thank you for joining. For those who don't know, my name is Cameron. I'm the digital campus pastor here at Salty Church, and we got a couple of things before we get into the sermon today. First thing, it's our connection card. You'll see it on the screen as a QR code, or there should be a link in the description below. This is the best way to get in contact with us and connect with us, and it is the way that you join the digital campus. And speaking of digital campus, we have Group Connect coming up. Group Connect will be on January 21st at 6:30 p.m. on the Discord, which is the digital campus. We'd love to see you there. We'll talk about groups, get connected, and yeah, it'll be a fun time. And then a couple other things that we got going out through the week is we got prayer. If you need prayer for anything or prayer for someone else, we're here for you. We'd love to pray with you. And same thing, all that can be found through the connection card and on the digital campus. And before we get into service, we got one more thing, and this is our connection time. Connection time, we do a couple of different things. We connect with God and we connect with others. And you can connect with friends and family at home or connect with us in the chat. Love to say what's up. You can connect with God, you can pray, and you can also take communion during this time. You can take it with us in spirit. And then we do one other thing during connection time, and this is generosity. And before I say anything else about this, always thank you. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without you. Generosity changes everything. It helps us rescue and empower disciples for Jesus. So thank you for partnering with us in that. And if you want to help us in that, you can go to salty.org/give, or you can also go to the link in the description below. So thank you for partnering with us in generosity. And we're going to go ahead and get into connection time in just a sec. So see you guys.
Hey everybody, coming in to you again today from Israel. It's been an amazing trip as we're learning more about Bible history, and I'm continually surprised. Like I understand about archaeology and history and all that, but just mind-blowing the focus on archaeology. And archaeology is just, trying to discover what is the truth as revealed with artifacts and such evidence. So it just kind of reminds me that today we're going to be talking about doubt. If you have doubts, great. As long as you're moving ahead trying to you're discovering what is the truth in the midst of whatever your doubt is. I love the fact that archaeology is doing that. It's like, we don't know what's true. Like, what did this happen in the Bible or that? So for instance, I'm standing here in this construction site basically, but in John 9, there's a story about Jesus at a pool of Siloam. It's what they call that. Well, that is right here. It's where we're at. And the archaeologists are uncovering evidence and documenting Bible history as we read it here. In the story in John 9, which is just amazing to me, Jesus comes across this blind man and he spits in the mud and he spits in the dirt, makes some mud, puts it on the blind man's eyes. He's not standing here, he's off somewhere else. And he tells the blind man, go wash in the pool of Siloam. So he tells him to come here and to wash in the water that would have been here at that time. Just prevalent springs of water sources that just came through a tunnel that held all kind of water sources. And so that pool would have gathered here. Well, what struck me was he's got mud on his eyes, he's blind, he's having to find his way to this pool. It's like, what's in his head? Like, does he believe something's gonna happen? Does he believe he's gonna receive his sight? You think about the doubt. He's been blind his whole life. As you read through, it's very clear. And he goes and he washes in the water, and in the midst of whatever doubt he had, he washes, he's obedient to what Jesus says, and then he can see. Glorious, unimaginable, amazing. Now, what's interesting about it is this whole story unfolds. Go back and read John 9, and these religious leaders are skeptical and angry and they're doubtful, and they start accusing people of stuff. And long story short, they come back, they find the guy, talk to his parents, they're trying to disprove and discredit Jesus, and they're like, tell us what happened. And the guy in John 9:25 basically just says, I don't know whether this guy Jesus is a sinner or not. What I do know is this: I was blind and now I can see. And to me, it's just, I don't know anything. I was blind and I know I can see. He told me to wash. I came here and I washed. Now I can see. And it's just a story of receiving sight from blindness. It's a story of understanding and belief in the midst of doubt. It's like you may have good eyesight, but we have doubts, and we need help, and we need to bolster our faith, and we need evidence, and we need answers to our questions. And God, that you might help me see the truth in the midst of my doubt. This is just a bit of an object lesson, but I want to encourage you today that as you have doubts, go looking. Ask God to give you eyes to see. And in that journey, I know that God will do exactly what you ask.
So good to hear from Robbie again this week as he is back from Israel, but getting to see this story while he was there. He'll be back next week to start off a new series, so I'm excited for y'all to be here for that. But for those of you who don't know me, my name is Austin Trammell. I serve as multi-site pastor here at Salty Church, which means I get to work with all of our multi-sites, meaning down in New Smyrna Beach, Port Orange, Ponce Inlet, Flagler Beach, and of course, our awesome digital campus, and getting to work with Cameron. Be sure and drop some love in our chat section today as you're live with us. And we thank you joining us digitally from wherever you are, and especially to all of you here in Ormond Beach. You having a good morning so far? Awesome, very cool. It's good to hear you're excited to be here today and learn some more and share in that. So we've been in this series called Asking for a Friend. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of. I happened to be teaching here last week as well, so you can go back and view that. And Robbie kicked it off the first Sunday of the year. We've been dealing with some things that maybe make you question your faith, question who Jesus is. Like, you're almost afraid to ask this question because are you saved if you have this question, right? You know, that's why we're calling it asking for a friend. Those things maybe you don't want to ask for yourself, and you're kind of like, asking for a friend, what would you say about this, right? And so that's kind of what we're dealing with this month as we kick off our new year. We got a lot of help from you and all of our campuses last week across every service. We asked your help to fill out a Menti poll, to scan the QR code right here on the screen and submit a question, submit questions that you might have about your faith, things that you doubt about. We had almost 500 submissions last week, and we've already had a great response today. So we wanted to make sure you had this opportunity again. So go ahead and take your phones out. You can go to the camera app, aim it at this QR code, and then you'll click that link, and there's gonna be a question there. It basically says, what is something you wrestle with in faith and in life? So something that you struggle with, you wonder, is this true? How does this work? You can submit your questions there, and then we're gonna come back to it at a series later in the year, not too far from now, and answer some of those questions for you, maybe have some other avenues to help answer some of those other questions. But I want to go ahead and jump into our message today. As Robbie kind of gave us a sneak peek, we're going to be talking about doubt today and what that looks like. Much like you, I have a lot of doubts, and because of that doubt, we develop trust issues, maybe in relationships, maybe with God, maybe with ourselves. We just develop all of these doubts because we thought something was true, like we signed up for it, and like, yeah, this is true, and then come to find out it's not true, or slightly not true, whatever it might be. It develops all those. Growing up, there were some certainties in my world. As a child, Pluto was a planet. We're still uncertain on it. They tell me it is, they tell me it ain't. I don't know. Is it a planet? Is it not? I grew up, my very educated mother just sold us 9 pizzas. That P was included in there. Does everybody know what that is? Yeah, that's how we learned our planets in the solar system, right? Pluto. I don't know. Is Pluto a planet? I have no idea. Thanks to cartoons, which I watched a lot of growing up. Well, let's be honest, on into today. And one of the things that cartoons have made me scared of is quicksand. I thought quicksand was real. Just in the middle of nowhere, you're gonna step in sand and you're gonna sink. First time I remember going to the beach, I was scared to death because is the whole thing quicksand? What's gonna happen here? As an adult, I found out it kind of does exist. I mean, I still kind of test my foot out when I'm in the lagoon or whatever, but I just know I'm gonna go knee deep into some muck. I'm not gonna like sink in it, die, and no one's ever gonna know what happened to me. It's just quicksand is weird. As a kid, I was told by my parents that if you turned the light on in the car at night, that they would get a ticket. They might go to jail. I just wanted to see my Game Boy screen. That's all I wanted to see. So they bought me a little thing with a little flashlight on it. It helped, but you couldn't turn the light on. So of course, I tell my kids, you can't ride around in the car with the light on. Daddy will get a ticket. This came up not that long ago in our home, and of course we all realize we have computers in our pocket with all kind of ways to search things, and so we ask, is it illegal? I'm here to tell you, children, turn the lights on in your parents' car at night. Unless they tell you not to, but they're not gonna get a ticket. All 50 states, there's no law against riding around with the light on in your car. I doubt everything. How many of you have ever been in a watermelon seed spitting contest? You know? Yeah, it's a full body thing. You gotta get the and like launch that thing, right? Well, one time as a child, I got into and I swallowed it. My grandfather, being the man that he was, told me that a watermelon was gonna grow in my stomach. I didn't sleep for a week. Why are you laughing at that? For a week. I thought I was gonna have a watermelon growing in my stomach. And then, no lie, the next year where we spit all those seeds, watermelons started to grow. And what does my papa do? He says, Austin, the same thing happening in you? Oh God. A watermelon didn't grow, you know? Gum. How many of you are told if you swallow gum, it'll stay in your stomach for 7 years, 11 years, 3 years, whatever? Maybe that's why my stomach won't get any smaller no matter what I do. I don't know. There's 40 years of chewing gum in there. I really don't know. But I'm pretty sure it didn't stay in my stomach for 7 years. The acid in there alone would have taken care of it, right? We grow up wondering, wait, was any of it real? Any of the things I told, was it real? Which causes us to have doubt and trust issues as adults. Because my grandfather told me I was gonna grow a watermelon in my stomach. You know, the mind's a weird place. But one of the things I've learned is doubt is natural. And when handled properly, doubt can be healthy. Doubt can strengthen relationship. You know, as a child, I asked a lot of questions. I'm pretty sure my dad's eyes rolled out of his head more times than not from just the amount of questions I would ask. Oh, ask your mama, I don't know. You know, these type of things. I was a very inquisitive child. I was always wondering, I was always seeking answers. I always wanted to know more. But why, Daddy, but why? And what happens when you're an inquisitive child? You grow up and you have inquisitive children. I had to wear goggles at a certain time in their life, like 6 and 4 years old, because my eyes would just pop up out of my head because I would roll them so hard. They asked so many questions. My son asked 423 questions in 60 seconds one time. But I never wanted to squash that inquisitiveness, to allow them to wonder, to allow them to not doubt, which my dad did as well. He would always answer the questions. We don't want them growing up in doubt. We want them to understand and to not be afraid to ask questions, because we all want something real. We want to believe in something. When we sign up for something, we want it to be accurate. But life doesn't always cooperate. Life doesn't always cooperate. It's one thing to doubt Pluto. It's another to doubt your faith, God's nearness, whether you still belong, whether Jesus still wants you, whether Jesus still loves you. And some of you walked in here today wondering those questions. What is this whole Christian thing? I got baptized in the ocean not that long ago. Why am I here? Why are we singing songs? Do I believe the songs that we're singing? What is this faith thing? You know, I'm a firm believer that doubt is okay. I'm a firm believer that when handled properly, doubt is good. It strengthens those things, but we cannot leave it alone though. It's to be in community. Doubt doesn't qualify your faith, but doubt in isolation will starve your faith. Doesn't disqualify your faith, but if you keep it to yourself, it will starve it. Because the more you doubt God without dealing with it, the more you doubt God without talking to others about it, the more it starves and it gets lower and lower and lower. I'm gonna share a quick story with you guys today from the book of Mark. In the New Testament, which is the second half of the Bible, we have 4 books that start out with it: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They're what's known as the Gospels. Jesus' birth, life, death, resurrection. We get that whole thing in all 4 of them. We're gonna look at Mark today and a story there about a father who has a son who's actually going through a lot of stuff, is battling some serious spiritual battles. It's making him sick, he's getting injured, these type of things. And so this father brings his son to Jesus, and in Matthew 9:22, he says this: "If you can do anything, take pity on us and help us." That word, can. Now he's looking at the almighty creator who spoke existence into happening. Just there it was. If you can do anything, but if not, take pity on us and help us. How often have we prayed a prayer similar to that? Jesus, can you please do this? But I get it. If you can't. And his father goes to him and he's battling with the same thing we do. Why do we doubt the almighty creator in our prayers? Why do we struggle through that? Well, it's because of things in our past. We feel unworthy, we feel inadequate, we feel unsure, we feel unloved. Is Jesus gonna answer this? Will he? Sometimes our answers, the kind of thing is like no prayer goes unanswered, but sometimes it is a no. And so we battle with that. We really, really wanted something. But God, the creator, knows what's best for us in that moment and in the long term as well. And it's to trust him that he knows best for us. But we struggle with all of those feelings in our life that cause us to doubt him in the things that he says to be true or not. So let's look back, let's continue in our story. Jesus replies, if you can. I love that. If you can. If I can. Not to be whatever, but like I'm Jesus. And if I can? But no, he says, everything is possible for one who believes. Say that word with me. Everything is possible for the one who believes. Immediately, the boy's father exclaimed, I do believe, help me overcome my unbelief. What a prayer. I could end the sermon right there. When you're struggling in life and you're doubting everything, God, help me overcome my belief. And wait and listen and surround yourself with people that are gonna help you learn that and live that. True faith risks everything on what little faith you have by trusting Jesus to answer. This man has very little faith, and so many times we feel like we have to have it all figured out, and that's the only way God's gonna work in it. But Jesus shows him, no, listen, everything is possible for the one who believes. And in that moment, the man's like, yes, help me overcome my belief. Show me that you can do this. Jesus didn't push him off. He didn't say, come back later, go read your Bible, join this group, go to church for 3 years, read your entire Bible, come back and tell me what you learned, and then I'll answer your prayer. No, he met the father where he was. He showed him compassion. There's a whole crowd gathered around at this point, and Jesus heals the son. Just in a simple prayer, he's healed. And all of those people got to watch this man battle in faith, battle in doubt, and through that strengthen his faith, which then inspired all of those around him. God does mighty things in us. We just have to be willing to ask him. I know I have felt like this father. Jesus, if you can do this for me. Jesus, can you? We just need to take it to him and share it with him and know that he's there for us. Doubt, when used properly, is just gonna strengthen our faith because see, doubt is not the opposite of faith. Apathy is the opposite of faith. Apathy means we stop caring. Doubt keeps asking questions. Don't let your doubt turn into apathy. Use your doubt to strengthen your faith. When we do doubt, we need to seek answers. If we're wrestling, if we're still asking questions, keep doing that. It's not failure to doubt. It just means you're in progress, which we all are. We're all growing, we're all changing. Because Jesus is gonna meet us in our doubt. And I want you to know that you are not alone in your doubt. I doubt every day, and I've devoted my life to this. I doubt. If you read the Bible from the beginning to the end, you're gonna read some amazing stories, true stories of amazing people who spoke with God, who were with God. The disciples literally walked with Jesus and saw him do life and ministry, and they still doubted, but they chased it down. So I want to share a story with you about a guy named Thomas. You've probably heard about him. A lot of people have liked to pick on him over the last 2,000 years for doubting. But I'm pretty grateful for him doubting, you know? We get this amazing story. He's sitting around with his buddies. This is after Jesus is resurrected, and all of his followers are kind of hanging out in the nearby communities, kind of like, what's gonna happen? I heard Jesus is alive. Nah, dog, Jesus ain't alive. What you talking about? I watched him die. No, I'm telling you, man. Mary and Mary went there. Wait, which Mary and Mary? Mary and Mary went there, and they saw that the tomb was empty. Like, he's alive. And Thomas, this is a direct quote from him, he said, unless I see the nail marks in his hand and put my finger where the nails were and put my hand into his side, I won't believe. First of all, can I just say, ooh. Like, as I read this, I'm just like, why, man? Like, couldn't just seeing them do enough? Maybe seeing the wounds be enough? He's like, no, I want to stick my finger into his hands and be like, yeah, it's Jesus. But we all have that friend, right? It's just like, why you gotta be so much? It's okay. All kidding aside, I'm really grateful for Thomas's doubt, because we get this amazing story, and it doesn't just end there. So let's look at John chapter 20, verse 27 through 28. Jesus shows up in the home where the disciples are gathered, and Thomas is there. And he says this, Jesus said to Thomas, put your finger here, see my hands? Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Jesus didn't hear Thomas say those words. He wasn't in the room when Thomas said that. But Jesus knew what Thomas needed. And he says, so stop doubting and believe. Thomas said to him, my Lord and my God. It's right there, guys. For hundreds of years, pastors like me and others have picked on Thomas. And I'm here to say, I'm grateful for Thomas. The doubt that he had is real. And if any one of us think we're better than Thomas because we don't doubt, we're lying to ourselves. Thomas is just like all of us. You don't have to stick your finger into his wounds, but to know him, to hear him, to see him work in community around you, that's how we're gonna know that he's there. Jesus invites Thomas in this moment to find out your doubt is null and void. Here I am, Thomas. And history would say Thomas had an amazing rest of his story. Left Jerusalem, went out into the world, became an amazing missionary and growing the church. He carried it with him, what he saw that day. Most people don't suddenly wake up one day and think, I don't believe anymore. Nobody really wakes up and like, yep, I'm done. It's after days, weeks, months, maybe years of doubting quietly, slowly, and a lot of times when we're alone. I know most of my doubt takes power over me when I'm alone. See, community doesn't erase doubt, but it does anchor you when the waves of doubt come. To stay in community with other believers, because doubt is going to come. You're gonna doubt who Jesus is, what he's doing, and the grand scheme of it all. You're going to, I do. Devoted my life to this, and I still doubt him. And so to think about, as I'm going through this, like it's gonna come, but as those waves of doubt come over me, this community is gonna keep me anchored into truth. If you watched the sermon from last week, you hear me talk about some of the hardest seasons of my life and how I've lived in them. What I left out that I can share today is that Christian community kept me going into this. That Christian community kept me connected to who Jesus was. They didn't fix me, but they helped me. You know, when I didn't believe God's goodness for me, they did. When I prayed, when I couldn't pray, when I struggled to pray, they prayed for me and with me. When I wanted to run, they stayed with me. They said, that's not true, Austin. You've seen God do this in your life. You know that this is true about Jesus. Christian community should be the safest place to doubt. You should be able to sit around with your Christian brothers and sisters and just say, I gotta say, I don't know if this thing's real. Like, I'm not sure Jesus is real. And have a safe place to have it in there. Jude, if you're looking, where do I start in the Bible? And you wanna start easy, Jude is one of the shortest books in the Bible. I'm gonna say Jude chapter 1, there's only one chapter. Jude 1:22 says this, be merciful to those who doubt. Be merciful, show mercy, care to those who doubt. And that's why we can be in community. Numb hearts don't question, dead faith doesn't wrestle. Your faith is not dead as long as you're wrestling. Keep wrestling and pin it down and find out the answer. And sometimes you gotta tag your partner to come in and help you fight. Sometimes it's gotta be a Royal Rumble. And if you're down for that, let's have a Royal Rumble later. I'm kidding, don't do that. I don't know, if you do, let me know. Doubt does not disqualify your faith, but doubt and isolation will starve your faith. Don't stay in isolation. I'm proud to say I'm no longer afraid of quicksand. Just not afraid. I actually, a couple of weeks ago, rode around at night with the lights on in my car. It was a little distracting. I'm getting older, vision's not as great at night, but I left the lights on for a minute. It's kind of fun. I was like, take that, Mom and Dad. There's a little freedom in that, right? Take that, Dad. I love you, Dad. We all doubt things, but we can learn from them. I want to invite you to take your doubts and learn from them. And this is why we do groups. Groups are so important here at Salty Church and at any church. So we want to make sure you know that you can sign up for Group Connect this Wednesday night. I want you to know what groups are not, though. There's a lot of apprehension in my years of working in ministry and the years I've worked here at Salty and as a former campus pastor trying to get people into groups. There's a lot of fear about groups. But I want you to know they're not performance zones. Like, you're not gonna come in and be like, well, this week I led 5 people to the Lord. Oh, I didn't talk to anyone about my faith. This week I fed 100 people. I barely fed myself this week. It's not what it's about. It's not Bible trivia contest. You don't have to know who Obadiah is. You don't have to be able to name all 12 disciples of Jesus. You don't have to be able to do any of that. This is a safe place to learn those things together and process these things together. And it's not forced vulnerability sessions. No one's gonna make you sit in the middle of the floor and hold a little stick up, that you can talk and cry, and you gotta share your most embarrassing and shameful moments of your life, right? That's not what's happening. What is happening is real friendships, honest conversations, and a safe place to say, I believe, but help my unbelief. I want you to have that opportunity, and I want to give you an opportunity to think about that, to process that. So we have 2 reflection questions for you today. Here at Salty Church, we like to end with reflection time. And this is your opportunity to be able to process what you just learned. So your first question is easy. Not necessarily easy, but I want you to list them out. What doubts do I have that I'm afraid to admit? Think about those doubts. And who is God inviting into space with you? Where you can go in and have those doubts. Who's God inviting you to have those conversations with? And if your answer to number 2 is, I don't know, no one, I have no plan, scan that QR code. It's gonna take you to Group Connect, and on Wednesday night, you will find the group of people that you can take those doubts into deeper with and process them. Know this today, Jesus is not rolling his eyes at you. He's not annoyed at you. He's not disappointed in your doubt, and he's not pulling away from you. He's there to help you respond to this, to listen to you, take your doubts to him, surround yourself with a community of believers that help you process that doubt. I'm gonna give you 90 seconds today to think about these, and then one of our team will be back to wrap us up.
Hey, so yeah, doubt can be tricky, and it's not something you want to play with alone. So I'd encourage you, like, join a community, get into group connects, join a group. We'd love to be with you. We'd love to help you through your questions and your doubts. So we'll hopefully see you on January 21st, 6:30 p.m. And we hope you have a great week. Love y'all. See ya. Bye.